Good morning, Dennis Weiss for Eagle Communications. We are at our favorite place in our town, and that's the Eisenhower Presidential Library and Museum. We're with Lieutenant Seth Clark, who's here with a contingent from the USS Eisenhower. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Okay, you're here for a reason. What is it?
Well, we're here because we're lucky enough to, as you know, every year the Eisenhower Foundation picks a couple of our most outstanding sailors who have distinguished themselves in the year prior through either their service on board the ship or their service in the community. And we have two outstanding sailors here representing the best of what the Mighty Ike has to offer.
Cool.
Senior Chief Lloyd and Petty Officer Jarvella, and we'll meet them soon.
Okay.
But we are in town to honor them and their service, and we're also lucky enough to be here to say happy birthday to the Naval Service, the U.S. Navy, and as well as to President Eisenhower.
Just so you know, we here in Abilene refer to the USS Eisenhower as our floating Abilene. You're about the same size.
We found that out today, yes. Not
Yeah.
that much different population-wise.
You carry the same amount of people as we do, except every one of yours has a job that they have to do every day. We would love to have 100% employment. We're not too far off of that, but our 3- and 4-year-olds don't have to get up and go to work every day. And,
not yet.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, I've always thought of that as what a unique thing. Well, Dwight David Eisenhower is pretty special to Abilene. Abilene was pretty special to Dwight David Eisenhower. But we don't often get to see folks from the ship that carries his name. Carries his full name now, as I understand, right? USS Dwight D. Eisenhower?
Correct, yes.
That's kind of cool. All right. You're the public affairs officer?
Assistant Public Affairs Officer.
Okay.
In case the
The other guy doesn't know what to say.
That, right.
Yeah, that's our, well, you're the only one here, so
okay,
you're the public affairs officer today. I see the F-35s deployed on the USS Dwight David Eisenhower. That has to be fun.
Well, I flew off before, or the same day that the F-35 flew on, so I personally missed it, but I saw the terrific photos and video coverage of the testing they're doing out there. So the F-35 won't be deployed with anybody still for a few years yet, but we were fortunate enough to be the second test platform, the first on the East Coast for the F-35. So they came out and ran their tests, and it's been a benefit to us on board Ike that we were able to adjust some of our systems to make sure that they would work in concert with the Joint Strike Fighter, and presumably it was a beneficial experience for them as well.
Read a little bit about that this morning. Have a son that's enthralled with all things military, and he kind of keeps me up to speed on what the platforms are doing. But it's fun for us who love Eisenhower to think of this ship with his name on it now having the latest technology in aircraft. That we continue to say Ike is and will always be very relevant to the world, and just an example of that, I guess.
Well, we're doing our best to maintain that relevance for sure.
So what's it like to live on floating Abilene?
Well, if I had thought about it that way, I might have thought this is not as many there's not as much parking as there is in the real Abilene,
and not as many trees.
Not as well. There's not as many trees. That is correct. Yes.
Okay. How about, well, I don't know, parking. I'll bet you have as much parking as we do, either above or below deck.
Well, we, depending on what we're doing operationally.
Your cars are bigger.
We sometimes, true, we sometimes fill all those spots. So it looked like there was plenty of parking in downtown Abilene.
We rarely fight over a parking spot, and if we do, it's not for long.
Right.
Okay, so tell us who our next person is going to be. We're going to see on camera, and then tell us how it is that a guy with a tattoo from there to there could be the public affairs officer, because it's the Navy.
That's what it is.
Isn't that good?
It's the Navy.
Yes, exactly. It's part of the heritage.
Yeah, if you're going to get a tattoo anywhere, if you're going to be a sailor, it goes hand in hand.
That's right. Okay.
So the next person that we're going to be speaking to is our Command Master Chief, Shay Langjans, and And would you like her to come right up, or
No, we'll take a short break and make it easy to switch. But very nice to have you in town. Great to talk to you.
Yeah, great to talk to you as well.
Carry on with the good work floating around the ocean on our behalf.
All right.
Really appreciate it.
We're doing our best.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Back with Command Master Chief Shay Langjens, who is riding herd on the contingent. We're an Army post around here, so this is the Sergeant Major of the ship.
I am.
Yeah. So tell us, how big a task is it to ride herd on this crew?
Oh, see, our crew is, these gentlemen are a direct representation of our crew. We have some outstanding sailors on board Ike, and we selected these two gentlemen to represent Ike for the different leadership awards, and it's actually not that difficult because a lot of them are like these two gentlemen.
That's a great answer.
It's the truth, I promise.
Okay. We believe that, and we choose to do so because, after all, it's Dwight David Eisenhower's boat. We don't want second best.
No, sir.
No. Okay. All right. So how do you like your job?
I have the best job in the Navy.
Okay.
I am very fortunate. There's only 11 carriers, so there's only 11 Command Master Chiefs of carriers.
Yeah.
And I truly feel like I have the best job in the Navy. We have 3,152 sailors on board Ike without the air wing, and they are just awesome. Every day never fails to impress me of what they're capable of doing.
When you were in high school, did you see yourself with the level of responsibility you have today?
No, I did not. I went to college for a short time and didn't have the money really to finish it out, so I wanted to leave, and I wanted to leave now. And I joined the Navy almost a little over 28 years ago, and I never thought I'd be where I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very fortunate.
We've had the pleasure, through the good offices of the library here, to go to Fort Leavenworth, the General Staff Command College, and sit down with 21 majors and captains, over 3 days, and did a series of interviews with them. And something that really stuck with me: one, the level of professionalism and accountability that all of them had, and the second one was startling to me. It's that they saw themselves as very good at what they do inside the military, but they wondered if they would ever be capable outside the military. That was shocking to me, and I told them so. I said, "You have got to be kidding. If there's any problem with you in the outside world, is you are overqualified."
I'm edging on the side of retirement, and I wonder that as well. I know this, and I know sailors, and I know this like the back of my hand, and I'm very comfortable in what we produce on board Ike, either whether we're operational ready or our sailors are just doing great things in the community. We've got that wired, and I think it's a combination of the character of the sailors that we have on board and the leadership. But I know this. As I get ready to retire, I wonder how I'm going to fit into the community, because they are probably not used to my type of interaction. It's passionate, it's aggressive, it's involved, and I don't know how many civilians that can tolerate that at times.
Well, I can tell you that's probably accurate. There's not many civilians can tolerate me, so we're in the same boat there. Mm-hmm. But I would want to be an encourager to you here, and to the camera, and to the young people standing behind us over there. My goodness, does the world need people who can do and who you are in our midst to do great things, because to do great things requires what you said about your task and your passion for it and your dedication to it. And we need great things done in a civilian world. Our failing is we haven't figured out how to reintegrate military people into the civilian world at the level of performance that they can give us.
I know what you're saying. I did NDOC. Actually, it wasn't NDOC. It was, we have sailors that come in that are undesignated, and they're not given a job or a position. They join the Navy for a year, and they do a lot of the hard work. And after a year, they're able to strike for a rate. And that's how I came in. I came in undesignated. And if you look at these sailors, after a year, they can truly go find another job. And I asked them, I said, think back to when you joined the Navy, and it's 6 months ago, 9 months ago, and look at the difference in your character. Look at the difference in your ability to handle tough situations. Look at your willingness to fight through a problem. It's night and day from where it was 6, 9, 10 months ago. And you put that type of individual back in the community. If you don't employ them, you're missing a mark.
Shay, so nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well.
And as a Master Chief Petty Officer, I appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
And keep doing it.
Oh, yeah.
And then come out here and do it with us.
Looking forward to it.
All right. Folks, we'll be right back with another visitor from the USS Dwight David Eisenhower. Sitting down with Chief Petty Officer Lloyd, and we're so glad to have you in town.
Yes, sir. Good to be here.
Hey, you just were telling me before the camera came on, the answer to my question was, have you had any fun here? And you said?
I said I was with the kids at Garfield Elementary School, and you know, they had about 1,000 questions, and very interesting questions.
That's good.
You wouldn't think come from 4th grade and 5th graders. Very smart kids here.
Did they run you over to our brand new school, which is Eisenhower Upper Elementary School?
Yes,
did you run you by there?
We rode by there. Looking forward to seeing that come up next year when a new set of leadership winners come out here.
So yeah, I think that'd be a great plan. When we have our new winners next year, we'll do the interview there. That'd be fun.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we were there yesterday with a camera and shot some film and made the comment at how important it is to our community that that facility is there and named Eisenhower.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How long have you been on the USS Eisenhower?
2 years, 8 months, about 2 years and 8 months.
Okay.
Came at the second half of the back-to-back deployment. When they had the 2-month gap, I came on board and got the second half of the deployment.
And prior to there?
I was in San Antonio, Texas, where Eisenhower was stationed at before.
Okay.
And I was an instructor down there in San Antonio on Fort Sam Houston.
How do you like your job?
I love it. I'm a hospital corpsman in the Navy, so it's about giving back to people and caring, and that's who I am, and you know, it's the right fit for me.
How good are the facilities on the ship?
World class. I tell you, people that come on and visit, if you get a chance to do another distinguished visitor, you come in there, you have a surgery department, you have OR, anesthesia, physical therapy, pretty much anything you can get from the civilian world, we have it there and be able to take care of sailors' needs.
It's my father and all of that generation in my family, World War II fellas, all in the Army. But I think the differences now between then and now, and I think the largest thing is we have such ability to take care of people who've been injured.
Yes,
and
yes,
it's
sir.
right there. And oftentimes it's on the carrier.
Yes, sir.
That's where the plane with the Red Cross on it lands.
Yes, sir.
Because that's the best help in the closest spot. Yeah, that's wonderful. So tell me, what are you looking forward to on this tour?
Here in Abilene?
No, on the Eisenhower.
Well, I'm almost done. I got orders to Okinawa, Naval Hospital, Okinawa.
Okay.
But everything that I looked forward to has been fulfilled on board the Ike. I was looking for an experience, challenge, ability to grow and learn. You don't realize how much you don't know until you realize you don't know. And that's one of the things that Command Master Chief Langjans, put out to us as the chiefs. And coming aboard the Ike, I realized how much I did not know. But there was a great group of people in leadership there to help grow you and groom you and develop you. I think this is one of my best tours, and everything that I do from here on out is going to be from experiences that I learned from the Eisenhower.
That's interesting. We talk about open mind all the time,
Yes,
but to truly have an open mind, one has to admit there's an empty spot in
Yes,
it.
sir. Yes, sir.
So you open it up, and there you have room to put something. Not many people are willing to say, I've got an empty spot in my brain,
Yes,
but
sir.
we all do.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. The question is, are you going to let somebody fill it up? So congratulations for
Thank
you
you. Thank
and
you.
letting the Eisenhower be a part of your life. And thank you so much for coming to Abilene and sharing with us. And before you go, so where's home?
Montgomery, Alabama.
Montgomery, Alabama.
Yes,
My
sir.
goodness, I won my first championship in Montgomery, Alabama many years ago when my hair wasn't gray.
Yeah.
Yep, long time. One of my favorite places in the South to
Yes,
visit.
sir. Yes, sir. Doing what? I'm sorry.
Horses.
Quit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was, and I still have a saddle with red dirt stains. That red dirt in the arena just turned everything bright red. Yeah, the iron.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Good sailing to you, and thanks for coming to Abilene, and come back anytime.
Thanks for the opportunity.
All right.
Thank you.
Folks, we'll be right back with another guest from the USS Eisenhower. Dennis Weiss back with Brandon Jarvella, and he fixes things on the USS Eisenhower to keep them in the air, I assume, seeing as how you're an aviation electronics guy.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 23 years old.
You're the youngest of this contingent.
Yes, sir.
That's great. Young people do great things. So how do you like being on the USS Eisenhower?
It's been an amazing experience. The short 4 years almost that I've been in, I've done 2 tours with the Ike, and I've gotten to see much of the world. I love my job, love my chain of command. Like Command Master Chief Langagens, I started out as an undesignated sailor, so I got to experience.
Let's explain that to
Yes.
folks. I'm don't be offended, but you're 23, okay?
Sir.
There's a lot of people in our community that are 23 and 21 and 19 and 18 and 17 who set today as undesignated anythings. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
So here you set today as not only an accomplished professional with a career path, but you sit here as somebody who has done it well enough that you got to make the trip. So what advice do you give to young people who want to go from undesignated anything to designated something that really matters?
I would say always indulge in education, indulge in learning new skills, meeting people, helping people. I mean, that's what got me here today is I didn't always focus on myself. There was more than a few times I focused on people other than myself, which did lead to the presidential award that I received. From helping others in the community and as well as helping other sailors on the ship. So
what do you do in your job physically? What do you do each day? What's your job?
each day, so my primary job is an aviation electrician's mate, and what I do is I work on anything that has a wire in it, which is everything in aircraft. So AE can also stand for aviation everything. So power generation and distribution systems, such as the aircraft generators, aircraft batteries. It's what I maintain, what I fix.
Everything runs with a wire today. Everything flies with a wire today. So that's an important job. And I'm asking this question. We try really hard with our cameras and our show to give people a reason to look for greatness in their life. And you know, there's a lot of people that sit around and go, I don't know what I'm going to do or how I would do it or why I would do it. So I would probably, if it were me, start with the why I want to do it, because it's the right thing to do, and find a way to find greatness in you and then put it into a task.
Absolutely.
But if you'd make a comment as a young person to your walk through life and to the camera, and so there's a young fella sitting out there in high school who's not quite sure what he wants to do, so tell him some good advice on how to become a skilled professional.
So it wasn't until my senior year of high school that I decided what I actually wanted to do, which was originally join the Air Force. Both of my parents were in the Air Force. However, at the time, the Air Force was overmanned, so I listened to Navy spiel. I was interested, along with three of my other friends. But up until that point, I didn't know what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go. I didn't think college was going to be the best way for me to go. I came up with a plan, I stuck to it, and since day one of being in the Navy, I've given my all. I've stayed motivated. People have told me that, things wouldn't be possible, that I wouldn't be able to do something or accomplish something, and I didn't listen to those. I listened to them in a form of proving them wrong. So
the difference between listening with your ear and listening with the heart. You listen with your ear out of respect, but if your heart takes you to another place, you get a choice on which one to follow.
absolutely.
So glad to have you here, Brandon. So proud of you for your award. 23 years old and doing great things every day, and then being recognized for it. That has to be pretty special for you.
Well, it's an honor to be here, and it's really, really wonderful to see how Abilene is carrying on the tradition of President Eisenhower and his name.
Have you been through the museum yet?
I have not been to the museum yet.
They will take you, I'm certain. So here's something I have for you to do. The D-Day table, I call it the Hall of Great Decisions. There's a table over there in the middle of the museum where many of the decisions of D-Day were made, and they have a full table instead of chairs that go with it. It's all under glass, and they won't let me touch it or pull a chair up to it. But I have a dream of young people looking at that table and understanding that greatness can be accomplished with 8 chairs, a flat table, and dedication. So as you're representing us on the USS Eisenhower, you can look at where he sat before D-Day. It can only be done in Abilene, Kansas. Can't be done anywhere else in the world other than here. So when you go through, do me a favor, will you?
Absolutely.
All right. So good to have you in town.
It's good to meet you.
Come
Thank
back
you.
anytime.
Thanks again.
Folks, we're hoping that you got a chance to meet all of these people through the camera lens today. And we hope maybe you run into them on the street, maybe over at the museum. Always have a good thought and a good word and a prayer in your heart for the men and women of the USS Eisenhower Abilene. So proud of them. For Eagle Communications, I'm Dennis Weiss. Have a great day.